imply that there's no purpose. Provide a life with none, and make my life on purpose in the service of the one. As if I'm to be programmed, the system to control upon the surface got reserves, but below is never whole upon. These words, moving like a psalm, grooving like a needle on the vinyl of my arm, while the movement of my fingers.
Hi, welcome back to Scentuality. It's quite late tonight, but there's a few things that I really need to kind of say, and this video is just basically for myself. Lately, as you are aware, if you've been watching my last few videos, I've been trying to refocus Perfumery. I've been trying to sort of reassess where I am, where I've come from, where I'm going type of thing. And with me, I can't always put my finger on where things are going, but there are times when I feel like what I need to do is to just do something to cause a change and to, make affirmations and just sit back and go through the process and just go on the journey of wherever the sentiment takes me, wherever the mood takes me, wherever, what I set in motion. I'm basically giving myself over to the fact that I want things to change, and I'm just letting the change occur, basically. So, as you are aware, if you watched my last few videos, I started to kind of think, okay, maybe I should smell some other perfumes, because I'm not like I'm not even a consumer of perfume. I don't buy perfume, I just make it. So, smelling other people's perfumes is not something I'm accustomed to. And I thought, yeah, maybe I'll start and do that. And it is educational, and it gives me some insight into my own perfumes. And it gives me sort of like something to measure my own fragrances with. But I'm also not very comfortable talking about fragrances because I don't perceive fragrances the same as somebody else. Perfumery to me is it's not something I love really culturally, historically. I don't like what is associated with perfume, and I'm kind of anti that. So I have a very different relationship with perfume. I have a humble one, I have you see, when I make perfume, I know that I'm really deconstructing myself when I'm constructing a fragrance. I know that I am on a journey of discovery, and it all ties into every other part of my life. So for me, it has much more of a philosophical meaning, much more of a spiritual meaning. It's got nothing to do with the industry, and it's got nothing to do with how somebody connected to the industry may talk about perfume. It's for me, it's very different. It's very personal. It's very it has humble origins. And before I was watching some documentaries depicting, master perfumers, the well-known ones, the renowned ones, and I'm looking into this world, and it's just not a world I want to be part of. It's basically, it doesn't say perfume is available to everyone. It says perfume is available to those who have lots of money to spend. It's held in high regard. It's held in reverence, and it's not something that I resonate with. It reminds me of once I was talking to somebody who had went to Venice, and they were telling me about Venice, and the contrast between the Venice, the people who live there, the state in which some people live, in comparison to the churches which are adorned in gold. And it has this sort of it's just this gaudiness, this pompousness, this greed, it stinks of ugliness to me. And I think that, like, I give respect to the origins of perfumery and to the past and everything, but for me, like, fundamentally, the energy behind my channel is like accessibility. It's classless. It's saying that if you want to do this, you can, and you shouldn't let anybody stop you. You shouldn't talk yourself out of it. So yeah, perfumery, it's not something I even like. It really isn't. I don't like the world of perfumery. I don't like dressing things up too much. I like to strip things back, and I like to see what's underneath it all. I like to find the truth of everything. And so lately I've sort of been refocusing my focus, and I've been trying to figure out exactly where I'm going to go now, and I'm basically at a crossroads. So I did say in a few videos ago that I really wanted to work towards selling a fragrance, and I knew that I needed to say that out loud, because I needed to cause a change in my life, and I knew that you know, saying something out loud would be very, very powerful, and that's the reason why I did that. And it gave me this way forward, a different way of thinking about why I've made a perfume in the past, or really, you know, I was kind of getting a bit, I wouldn't say bored, but I knew that I had kind of been sitting blending materials together, learning about the oils that I had, and, you know, studying them, figuring out what smelled good together, what's too much, what's too little, that kind of thing. And yeah, I got this experience, this very alchemical, you know, basic alchemical experience of observing what happens when you mix this oil with that oil, and in different ratios, kind of thing. And I've built up this instinct for the materials that I have. I've built up an awareness, and when I make a perfume now, I can use that. But I guess what I was, in the back of my mind, what I was aware of is that modern perfumery is basically chemistry, and modern perfumists are chemists. Now, is this something that should hold you back from making perfume? This is a question I ask to you. It's a question I've been asking myself lately, and you know, I think it comes again back down to accessibility. If you have a background in chemistry, then great, then you already, you know, you are fortunate to have that. And if you like making perfume, you can merge both of those things together. I'm sure it will make you make more balanced fragrances that perform well, and fragrances that you could ultimately sell, because you'll be able to make the kind of fragrances that consumers are used to buying and that consumers want. But what do you do if you don't have a background in chemistry? What do you do if you're halfway through your life? What do you do if you don't have the time, or you don't have the money? You know, what can you do? You can only do you can only do what's possible, and you can only come from a particular angle. That shouldn't hold you back. It certainly doesn't hold musicians back. There are plenty well-known musicians who can't read sheet music, but you know, they can do anything with an instrument. It's the thing that I struggle with is the chemistry aspect comes from the head, but if you're using aroma chemicals, and obviously these things are synthesized in a laboratory, and there is alchemy. There is alchemy in its most humble sense. There is the fundamental of alchemy, the practical of alchemizing, but there's also this understanding of like, you strip that back, and there are reasons why this is happening, that is happening. Now, you can have an experience of doing without understanding why things are happening, and you can have this experience of doing and understanding exactly what is happening and why it is happening. And I guess that's the difference. You can you can blend things together. You can make lots of horrible smelling things. You can make some things that smell all right, some things that smell interesting, whatever, but you know, and you might hit on one thing that alchemically really works, because through lots of trial and error you have created something which performs well, which smells good, and you don't know exactly why that's happening, but still you discovered it. So you can make perfume that way, or you can make it from a headspace, a more head orientated, you know, you can make it from that kind of a standpoint where you think about it more and you rely on the chemistry that you've learned, and I guess that's what the modern perfumer does. But what do you do at home? You can only make perfume a personal journey. You can only you can only do what you can do, and I don't think that you should exclude yourself from perfumery just if you don't have a background in chemistry, if you don't know any chemistry. You know, you shouldn't let this stop you, because if what I always come back to, no matter what I do, is the fact that I'm a human and I'm part of a system, a natural system, and you know, life, you're born, the end of your life is when you die, but everything in between, well, that's yours. It's your experience, and this essentially is all life is about. It's the only thing that's real. Everything else is a part of this man-made system, which could exist one day, might not exist the next day. It's not any part of who you are. It's not any part of why you're here. There's no real truth in it. It's just it's man-made, and it's inferior because it's man-made to me, and I think that at the end of the day you have to bring everything back to the human experience, and you have to understand that anything that you do is a part of being human, and it's part of your life, and your life is a multiple of different things. And perfumery isn't just about the stage. It's not about creating a perfume that you can sell, that you can receive adoration for, or any of that. It's a part of every other part of your life. It's a part of the people you love, the people you hate. It's a part of the trauma that you go through. It's a part of heartache. It's a part of philosophy. It's everything. It's something else that you interact with, that you express through. It expresses something to you, like if you paint something or you write some lyrics and then you put that to a beat and you've then made a song. You know, it's just something to use. It's a tool. It's a form of language, but it's a part of this world, this material world, this world of interaction and experience, and that's it. But it's not a part of you. It's not actually what you're a part of. It's one thing in this world that you can do and you can experience, and there are many other things. So to think that, you know, perfume is above you, to think that perfume is more important than you or anything else, is just a really foolish thing to believe, because it's really not important at all. Perfumery really isn't important at all, and it shouldn't be put on a pedestal, and I certainly don't put it on a pedestal. So I was just making some notes before, and I realized that I don't really have them all clear in my head, so I do have them on a piece of paper, and I'm just going to hold that piece of paper out, and I'm just going to sort of look at it, and I'm not going to read it word for word, but I'm just going to, you know, keep myself right, because I really want to say exactly what I mean. So basically I made these notes about being honest, and I just had this sense that I needed to be very honest with myself, and I needed to do that on camera and share that on YouTube, because generally this is the kind of video that I like to make, because it's real and it's truthful and it's an epiphany and it's honest. So I just basically was jotting down the fact that I needed to be honest, because honesty brings you down to earth. It brings me down to earth, and it resets the ego. It brings you back to your center and the core of who you are. And everything needs to come from truth for everything to have some integrity. And that's why I have a casual approach to perfumery and anything creative, really. I try not to put it all on a pedestal and make it larger than life, because for me, it's not art as such. It's a part of the human experience, like I was saying. And that existence is interactive, and that interactivity is my experience and my life, and it dies with me. And I personally feel like life is all about the sum of your experiences, and that wisdom is what you take from life. So perfumery, it really isn't important. It like I don't hold it with this prestige. I don't put it on a stage, and I don't dress it up. It's really I want my perfume to be whatever it says it is on the tin. I really don't want to I was watching some of these documentaries, and they were talking about and I won't mention any kind of names, but it was all about making perfumes that would get the youth, because when you get the youth, then you have them forever. And I was listening to well-known master perfumers talk about the company and the name, and all of this is just BS to me. It's just so far away from what I think the essence of perfumery is. It's all connected to the material world, and then somehow it's lost, and I just don't revere that. And I don't mean any disrespect to these people or these entities or the history of perfumery or anything, but I can only be me. I can only represent where I come from in the time where I live, and I can only be that authentic. I can only be as real as that, as my life is. So I can't dress it up. I can't dress myself up. I can't dress up my origins or anything. And all I can be is honest, whatever that looks like, even if that's ugly. So yeah, that's just something that really bothered me when I was watching it. So just to go back to my notes, art to me, basically, I have respect for creativity, but I am not creativity. Creativity is just a train that I ride, and I hop on that train and I hop off that train. And every human on the planet can do the same, because it exists in a world that's built for all humans. So it's something we can all experience whenever we like. Art is the expression of a person's experience with a number of things: feelings, emotions, connectivity, philosophy, spirituality. In terms of perfumery, it's largely alchemy. It's not like a painting as such. You're making potions, you're rearranging molecules which interact with each other and express their relationship through smell. You're the observer, and you're discovering these relationships, and after a while you have the knowledge of many different relationships, and you can build a family from them, and you can smell that family, and that's what perfume is to me. I really just wanted to get that off my chest, because perfume is not pretentious, but humans are. Every now and then you have to humble yourself, and that's where I'm coming from today. And that's just the essence of what I am holding within myself right now. So ultimately, I don't know where to go with perfumery. I did buy this chemistry book, and it was delivered today, and there isn't anything in that book that can help me with where I am in terms of making perfume. And I also don't know where to go in order to find sources that I can learn from. So what is the answer? Do I continue doing what I've been doing and alchemizing, blending, mixing things together, Do I need to know the chemistry? Do I need to know what's going on when I do this or whatever? Or do I just need to blend them together, and if it works, it works? And to be fair, that's what I feel. Now, that might be the slower option, but you know, who said that I have to run really fast? Who said that you have to run really fast? I think that you can easily lose sight of things, especially creative things, because they're so closely connected to the world stage, you know. And there's always this sense of competition within the realms of creativity, and there's a lack of people who are really willing to share information. I'm always reminded, like I used to be really interested in music and writing lyrics and everything, and basically all of the music that is in the intros of my videos is all my music. It's either, you know, my voice, my lyrics over different beats, or it's some music that I made several years ago with a Brazilian friend, and that's that. But I basically used to do that, and I once took a course in Amsterdam, a music production course, and basically whenever I would ask a question with regards to putting a beat together, or just something that I needed to know in order to take what I had already built up myself and took out of myself, and just to be able to construct, and all I was told was just to keep jamming. Basically nobody was going to tell me anything. It was just keep jamming. What do you do when you're jamming? You're basically just blending oils together to see what happens. As I said before, many musicians don't know how to read sheet music. So do I need to know the chemistry? Do I need to know the reasons why this smells good with that? Does the person who plays a guitar, do they need to know why this chord sounds good with that chord? Or do they just need to know that those chords sound good together? I ask you. I feel like I have my own answer, but I ask you, what do you think? And these are just the thoughts that I've been sitting with for days now, and I've really went through the motions and thinking, am I worthy enough? Does this smell good? Does that smell good? Do I need to have a perfume that smells like a designer perfume? Can I sell a perfume that doesn't smell like a designer perfume? Can I smell a perfume that is how I like a perfume, or I want to wear a perfume? Would somebody buy that perfume? You know, these kind of things. I know that it's all subjective, but I think that there's like different places where people come from in perfumery, and a lot of it's snobbery, in my opinion. A lot of it is pretentiousness. A lot of it is it's like, you know, all built on the naivety of the consumer, and it's not something I resonate with. So I think I've kind of got to this point where I thought, okay, right, well, where do I want to go with perfumery? What's perfumery to me? Do I want to get more conceptual? Do I want to get more simplified? Do I just want to create my own reasons, my own image, my own, just disregard all the rules, don't care about them, that kind of thing, you know? I mean, it's just, I'm kind of in this place where I'm definitely refocusing energies, but I'm also analyzing the perfume industry. I'm also analyzing the purpose of perfumery. I'm analyzing what is perfumery. I'm analyzing the importance, or, you know, is it important at all? I'm just basically questioning everything. And if you've got any answers that you would like to share, I would be happy to hear them. Really, I'm calling out to you. If you know something that I don't, if you can point me in the next direction, if you can just give any kind of advice, even any advice about selling perfumes, especially in Europe. I'm based in Germany, so I really would like to know the information, so I knew what was realistic, so I could actually know what I'm working towards. I think what I'm really asking for is more information about perfume, and I'm not asking about advice about what is perfume to me. I'm just asking for insight that I don't have. So if you have any insight, please just let me know. I will be incredibly grateful and really appreciative. So I like to end the video there. I think I've said all that I need to say. I'm not going to promise a specific type of video because lately I haven't been in the mood for making certain videos, and it's really took a lot for me to get to the place where I actually wanted to make this video. And I have to thank my wife because she's basically my soundboard. You know, I used to have all these different ways of coping with things, and sort of like minimize my life now, and I don't have all these options. But my wife, I can bounce all my thoughts off her, and then she gives me something back, and from there I can really get the contrast that I need to make the next move. So I'm really grateful to her as well. But yeah, keep making perfume. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't, and enjoy it, and you know, smile, be grateful for everything that you have in your life, and try not to sweat the small stuff. Thanks for watching.